Hi, I'm Dee Marshall, career and life coach from dcmarshall.com. And today we're going to talk about how to approach an employee with a dress code violation. Okay, ouch, right? You've seen them come in and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe he or she is wearing that. And so it's an uncomfortable situation. I've been in the place where, some young woman comes in and she's falling out of her top, or some young man comes in and he's wearing his flip-flops from the beach and you're thinking, oh my gosh, and it's awkward. And so here's what I want to share with you. The first thing that you need to do is to invite the employee to an offline chat. That means you go over to them and you're going to invite them to meet you in your office or a closed door space in about 15 minutes. You know why? It's to allow them to breathe. It's already awkward. It's already uncomfortable. There's probably other people watching. And so you don't want to tap on the shoulder and say, come with me. That's not going to work. So that's the first thing. Invite them to an offline chat within 15 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. The second thing is, I already mentioned it, you must have the meeting in a closed door private space. Again, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. They stick out like a sore thumb, right? You've seen it. Everybody has had this experience, the exposure, and particularly for the gentleman, I've been in a situation, I'm the girl in the space that's like, oh, I need to go and have a conversation with her because I see the gentleman, they're uncomfortable. But that's the second thing that you want to do. Now, here's the tricky thing. The third thing is really going to be a little awkward in that. The first question that you want to ask is, are you familiar with our dress code policy? Right? That's good, right? You can't make any assumptions. You have to ask them. You can assume that they're breaking the rules on purpose, right? And so here's where the question comes in and the conversation is really going to divide. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. If they say no, they're not familiar with the dress code, what you need to say is, let me share with you the dress code. And then you need to let them know that, number 3 here, clearly, what you're wearing today is against the policy. So here's what I'd like you to do. If they're within a reasonable distance to go home, you should have them go home. If it's before noon, have them come back. If it's reasonable, work through that, okay? And ask them if they're comfortable with it. If it's the end of the day and it's very uncomfortable, you might give them the rest of the day off, okay? That's for the one that says, no, I'm not familiar with the policy. The person that says, yes, I'm familiar with the policy, and so they're just breaking the rules, that's a different kind of conversation. Whatever your employee policy manual says about writing people up and reprimand, you need to follow that. However, I would say give a little bit of a pass. Have the conversation, ask the question. You are familiar with the policy, and so help me understand why you might not be following the policy. Do you get that? So it's more of a conversation. It's more of seeking to understand rather than to be understood. Now, here's what's going to have to happen. If they're familiar with the policy and they're not following it, you're going to have to direct the course of action. And that might be to send them home for the day and then to have a follow-up conversation about them following the policy. And if they don't, what may happen next. All right? So again, pull them to an offline chat, always in a private space, and always ask the question, are you familiar? My name is Dee Marshall. I am career and life coach at dcmarshall.com. And this has been how to approach an employee with a dress code violation.